Hey guys, in today's video I've got 7 things that you are not going to find at Arctic Express. If you have been watching our channel and you are not already driving for Arctic Express, this video is really geared to you. Wanted to take time this week and just talk about who we are. What are the philosophies that we follow as a business? What could you expect if you came to work here at Arctic Express? And just kind of give you a little bit more information. That way, if you are out there in YouTube land or Facebook world, you might stumble upon this video and start to learn about us. Hopefully I can answer some of the questions that you might have through this video. Who is Arctic Express? Arctic is a family-owned refrigerated trucking company. Started in 1981, and in the early years we didn't do refrigerated freight, but by the mid-80s we were getting into and focusing on reefer freight. So out of the last 39 years, we've got about 34 years of focus and experience in the refrigerated food world, and long-time staff in the office and the shop, and also many very long-time drivers who have been a part of the company anywhere between 5 and 20 years. Just a couple years ago, our most senior driver was at 28 years, and unfortunately, due to health issues, he is off the road, but was with us for 28 consecutive years. Our fleet today is comprised of 83 tractors and 138 refrigerated trailers. Those are all Great Dane trailers with Thermo King units. Looking at the group of drivers we have right now who are driving as company drivers, the average length of stay for a company driver is right about 10 years. And one of the things I like to share with people in orientation is, everything is new when you change companies. New equipment, new people, new procedures, new receivers, new customers. And what that creates is a significant learning curve on the front side, and industry-wide, the greatest risk of a driver leaving is within the first 90 days. And if you just stop to think about that, it makes sense, because there's so many new things, and I don't particularly like change. And so getting accustomed to something new is a bit challenging. And there is the greatest likelihood of some sort of friction in those first 90 days. Then secondarily, you have the period of 91 through 180 days. So basically months 4, 5, and 6. And if a driver at Arctic Express can be patient, work with getting to know everybody, getting to know the procedures, and if we are patient and get to know the driver and work with that driver, and everybody gets through those first 6 months together, then there is a very high likelihood that that driver is going to be with us for a decade. That is wonderful news, because oftentimes when a driver bounces from company to company, accidentally there's a lot of lost income. Every time you change companies, you lose a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks worth of pay. And if you do that a couple times in a year, all of a sudden, instead of working 52 weeks that year, you've only worked 47 or 45 or 43. And you just end up making a lot less money. And so I put a series out at the beginning of 2020 called How to Make 2020 Your Best Year in Trucking. And one of the things I said in that video was, you got to stick with one company. Find a company and stick with that company. You're always going to make the most money by sticking with one company. And I think history tells us that Arctic is a company that many drivers will come get to know us. They're going to like most of what they find, and they're going to be with us for a long time. You're not going to like everything. We're not going to like everything about you, and that's all right. Nobody is perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect, and I hope that you don't expect for us to be perfect either. But the statistics would tell us that if you can come to Arctic Express and work through those first 3 months, then the second group of 3 months, months 4, 5, and 6, by the time we're 6 months in, you're going to know us, we're going to know you, you're going to know where we go, you're going to kind of know how everything works, you're going to feel comfortable, you're going to find success, and you're going to be here for a long time. And that's really what we're looking for. We're not looking to bring somebody in to put into a truck for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That's not our style. We don't think that that's productive. We don't think that that helps you. And long term, it doesn't help us be a stable company and provide the service to our customers that we want to provide. Another thing that we've worked very hard on over the last couple of years is our turnover percentage. Industry-wide, companies will have turnover between 90 and 105%. We calculate this every single Friday, and our number last Friday was 29.57%. So we're just under 30% turnover over the last 12 months. And again, we think that's another indication that that we're going in the right direction, that we're treating people the right way, and that we're helping our drivers be successful in what they do. So let me talk a little bit about what we offer here at Arctic Express and why you might want to consider coming and joining our team. So as I said, we have new and well-maintained equipment. We have 50 of our 83 tractors are less than a year old, and our oldest reefer at this point is about 5 years old. Most of our refrigerated trailers are younger than that, anywhere between 2 and 5 years old. We have a shop on site, and we keep up with the maintenance on our tractors. There are times when drivers will come from other companies, and as we get to know them, we hear stories about other people's maintenance procedures and things that a driver was requesting be fixed, and they're told no. There's just some crazy stuff out there. So if you come to join our team, you can be assured that we're going to keep you in equipment that is absolutely safe. We also offer consistent work. Now, this is going to be a little bit affected now by the coronavirus for whatever duration of time things continue to be shut down. But overall, we keep our drivers moving with very good consistency. Now, what does that mean for each individual driver? How many miles am I going to get? I'm going to share a secret with you. Every driver is different. And so that's going to mean something different for every single driver. We have drivers in our fleet who consistently do 600 miles every single day, day after day after day, until they need to take a 34 because they've run out of their hours. We have other drivers who find a sweet spot more in the 400 mile per day range. And the goal that I have is to get to know you, to find what works well for you, and then to plan you according to that level, that sweet spot. If you're in that 350, 400 miles a day range, that's awesome because you're not going to run out of hours. You're going to consistently have hours coming back, and you're going to be available for work and continue to earn and to run. I don't want to make you a 600 mile a day driver if you are a 400 mile a day driver, because pushing you to consistently do much more than your body is able is unsafe. And that's not wise, in my opinion. And so we want to get to know you as a driver. We want to find kind of your sweet spot, and then we want to plan accordingly for you so that we have consistent work. You're able to not have exact miles every single week by any means, but we're going to find a rhythm, and we're going to create a plan that we follow together so that you have consistent work. We've got 24/7 dispatch, so nights, weekends, all during the day. We're going to have somebody available for you when you need, especially if you have a breakdown, if you have need for a comm check for a lumper at 3 a.m. We have folks ready and waiting to respond to those needs. One of the things that I'm proudest of is we offer mentoring and coaching. And so outside of the realm of driving if you simply want to improve some things in your life, we would love to be alongside you, to work with you, to help you. Maybe we don't have the answers, but we can connect you to a professional who does. And so whether it's conflict management, relationship skills, money management in your personal life, safe driving habits, we want to come alongside you and coach and help you become the best version of you. Now, some of you might be listening to that and saying, that's the last thing I want. So what we also offer is if you want to be left alone, we do that too. We have many drivers who just want, just give me my pre-plan, leave me alone. One of the things that they enjoy about driving is that they don't have to interact with a lot of people, and that's great. The only area where we're not going to do that is when it comes to safe driving habits. We're always going to coach you up on safe driving habits because we assume that you want to be a safe driver. If you don't, then you probably shouldn't be a part of the fleet. But we are always going to provide coaching for you when it comes to safe driving. Now, let me talk about some things that we don't do. Companies love to talk about stuff that they offer and what makes them awesome. And one of the things that I like to include is some disclaimers about what you are not going to find at Arctic Express or what we don't want you to bring to Arctic Express. I'd rather you know everything right now. I don't want to bring you in here, train you, and then you find out that we're not the company for you. Because again, that's a waste of your time. It's a waste of our time. So we want to try and be as transparent as possible. We do not run all 48 states. If you're looking to run all 48 states and if you love running out west, then we are not the company for you. We don't go any further southwest than Dallas-Fort Worth. We don't go any further northwest than just into Wisconsin. And then we are going to go as far northeast as Maine. We're going to go as far southeast as Florida and everywhere in between. Atlanta, the greater Atlanta area, North and South Carolina, Jersey, Pennsylvania, no New York City, but upstate New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maine. You might reload out of New Hampshire, and then we're going to come back to Ohio, Indiana, and then go outbound again. So we do not run all 48 states. We don't text and drive. We don't Netflix and drive. We don't YouTube and drive. So if that is a habit that you have, then I would ask you kindly not to bring it into our fleet. It is not a safe behavior, and we do not want, we don't want to risk your life, and we don't want to risk the lives of others. If you are using a hands-free Bluetooth device, awesome. Then we would love to talk to you about joining the company. We don't go 70 miles per hour. Our trucks do not go 70 unless you're going downhill, and then we really want to keep that under control in a wise way. We are going to give you 65 miles per hour on the pedal and 68 miles per hour on the cruise. Okay, 65 on the pedal and 68 on the cruise. We don't do dedicated freight. Dedicated is not a word that is in our vocabulary. And so sometimes guys are bothered by that. So I'd rather you know that ahead of time. Some folks historically have tried to create dedicated freight here at Arctic Express by saying, I really like that lane, I really like that one, I just want to do that one. And if we can make that happen, we will try to. Because again, a driver who knows where they're going, they know the They know the shippers and receivers. That can be very fruitful. But what we are not looking for is the driver who then will say, well, I'm not going anywhere else because you don't have my load for me today. So we don't do dedicated freight. We also don't do advances. Now, this may be very controversial, but we don't do advances. You're paid on Friday. Our payroll week is Wednesday to Wednesday, Wednesday noon to Wednesday at noon. The Friday immediately following, 1.5 days later, the miles you ran from Wednesday to Wednesday will be paid out to you in your bank account, direct deposit Friday morning, sometime very early. I don't know, 2 a.m. It depends on when your bank will process it. So we don't have a big hold on miles. Other companies do 1 week or 10 days or 14 days. We pay out very quickly, but we also ask then that you manage your finances from that point forward. So we do not do driver advances. If you are in a mess of a financial situation, we want to help you make good money to get out of that situation. But we would remind you that that situation wasn't created overnight and it will not be solved overnight. And so the miles and the money that's paid out to you on Friday has got to last you until the following Friday. We don't do drama. So if you're interested in finding drama, creating drama, replicating drama, reproducing and spreading drama, don't join the fleet, because that's not something that we're into. We're trying to be a positive culture, a driver-focused culture, but the drama is just not something that we're interested in having. And then we also do not offer or expect perfection. So I'm not perfect, and I'm going to make mistakes, and I know that you're going to make mistakes. And so we hope that with that in mind, we can operate together, we can navigate situations, we can work things out, and continue the relationship. I just spoke with one of our drivers yesterday. He was upset about a situation. He called my cell phone. If you join the company, I will happily give you my cell phone number. You can call me or text me, and we can work things out. He was upset about a couple things. We had a good 20-minute conversation, and by the end, we were ready to continue the relationship and to move forward together. But the bottom line is, we are not perfect people, and I know that you're not a perfect person either. I don't expect that of you, and I hope that you would not expect that of us. We are going to do our very best to treat each of you properly, to plan well, and to help you be productive and fruitful. Now, the one caveat to this situation is late deliveries are just not going to work at Arctic Express. I don't mean once in a blue moon late. I mean I'm always late, or I'm late 50% of the time. That is not going to work here. So while we do not expect perfection, we absolutely do expect consistent on-time delivery. We expect good planning of your hours of service and good communication. So if you are planned on a load that you don't have the hours to achieve, and your driver manager didn't catch that, we need you to communicate that back to them and let them know that prior to picking up the load. So what is it that Arctic Express is looking for from potential drivers? 3 things. Number 1, we're looking for safe drivers who plan well. Number 2, we're looking for folks who are ready for work. And number 3, we're looking for open lines of communication. We have got to be able to communicate with you. You have got to be able to communicate back with us so that we can make the best plan possible for success, both for you as a driver and for us as a company. If this video has been helpful to you, would you go ahead and comment where you are from, and subscribe to the channel. If you know anybody else who is looking for a good company and you would feel comfortable to share this information with them, we would appreciate that. You can see a little bit more about driving for Arctic Express on our webpage, www.arcticexpress.com. Go to the drivers tab and you can learn a little bit more about driving for us and start the application process there. Hopefully you are safe out there on the road and productive and surviving these days of the coronavirus in good health.